In this next series of videos, we're going to explore the Docs menu. To locate the Docs menu, go to the main menu and click Docs. Now let's overview the interface. You need to understand the elements here so that you can properly navigate and find your documents. First, at the top left is the hamburger menu, the three horizontal lines. That will turn on and turn off this side menu. The filter window, also called facets. Now, the purpose of this is to help you find certain types of documents more quickly. If you're looking for, let's say, a passage list, there's no point looking at your notebooks, your sermons, your syntax searches, etc. Simply click on passage list, and in a few moments, all the results, that is, all your passage list documents, will now be listed at the right. Notice when you make this change, the filter also appears up here with an X. If you click that X, then the filter is removed. Personally, I don't use this very often. Many times I know exactly what I'm looking for, and so I don't need this selection list. Now you notice there's a search icon just to the right of the word filter. If you click that, this is the second way by which you can find type. So if we were to type in sermon, notice all the facets have been filtered out and all we see is sermon. Pretty handy. Remember, to remove this filter, you must click the X. Now, if we click the triangle to collapse type, you'll see that Logos has several other categories: group, modified, created, language. Let's click and expand group. Here are all the documents that come from your group's category. Let's click the triangle to collapse that. Here's a list that helps you find recently modified documents. So if you're playing around with a document, but you forgot its name, come to modified and you can click on one of these options to see the most recently modified documents. That can be real handy. Let's click on triangle to collapse that. Let's expand created. So if you have a newly created document, you can find that document through this menu by clicking on today, last 7, 14, or 30 days. Now, currently I only have English documents. If you're bilingual or have other language documents, you'll see those languages listed here. Let's go ahead and click on type to expand the menu. So let's click the hamburger menu to remove it from our view so we have more space to view our documents. Now, to find a specific document, that's where the find box comes in handy. You click in the find box and you type in what you're looking for. Here, I've typed in John space 3:16 to see if I have any documents labeled John 3:16. I actually have quite a few. In this window view, I have the icon of the document. That can be really helpful visually. Then I have the name, the type of document, and the date it was created. These are the 4 columns of information that's provided to you. Now, if you want to sort by a type of document, just click the column label type. And now an alphabetical listing by document type will be established. And now it'll be a little bit easier to find, let's say, John 3:16 in my sentence diagrams. If I scroll down, here's all my sentence diagrams. This is pretty handy, and this is typically the way I approach this interface. I'll type in what I'm looking for, I'll sort on type, I'm good to go. Now, up at the top, you have 3 views: yours, groups, and public, and we'll look at those in the next training video. Then we have share. Now, share allows you to share the document with other users. To enable the share button, we must first click on a document. Notice I did not click on the title. That would open the document. Instead, I just click just to the right of it. Once I do that, the share button is enabled. By clicking on share, a menu will appear giving me the option to determine where I want to save it. Do I want to save it to public, that is all Logos users, or do I want to target a specific group? When I click on group, as I've done here, a drop-down menu appears. If I click that, then all the faith life groups that I'm a part of, I can now share this document. Now, unless you're part of a faith life group, I recommend using public. Now, notice after you click on public, let's go ahead and do that. We now have the option make document public. As soon as we click that, your document will be visible to all users in public documents. And as soon as we hit done, it's a done deal. It's now available for everyone to access. Anyone can access this document with this link as well. So you can copy this link and give it to other people. I'm going to go ahead and toggle that to no because I do not want to share this document. Then click Done. Let's click Docs once again to return to the menu. Now over at the right, you have the New button. Very easy to identify. Let's click the blue button. This is how you can create new documents, and we'll look at each document in the next set of videos. But nevertheless, once you click New, you've got access to the complete list, and all you have to do is click on any item in the menu, and a new document will be created. Go ahead and press Escape to close the menu. Now to the right is the Information button. Let's click it. Now notice the information window has appeared, and it remembers the last document I've clicked on, John 3:16 through 20. If I click any other document, again, notice I'm not clicking the title, just to the right of the title, I get additional information. I can put in a description, and I can even add a tag to make it more easy to find. Additionally, it tells me if I have shared this document or not. In this case, I have not. And I can open it and duplicate it as well as delete it. Now that's real handy. Let's click the Information button, close it. But if I right-click on the document, I also have similar menu options. I can open a new tab, open in a floating window. I can share, I can duplicate, and I can delete. Now over to the right of the I button is this button, Open in a Panel. Let's go ahead and click that. In a few moments, our Documents window has now opened, but notice it's docked. It's outside of the menu. If you're working a lot with documents, this may be necessary. Let's go ahead and click the X to close this window. Let's go back to the main menu, click Docs. Over at the right, there's the stoplight menu, the 3 vertical dots. Let's click that. We have a few options here. We can change the scaling to make it a little bit bigger or smaller. Now in Windows, you can see that there's 2 taller lines right here. That represents the default setting. When it's here and you change the scaling of the program, this will change accordingly. As soon as you move off that special grid line, you have customized the view, and so when you change the whole program, this will remain the same, whatever your setting is. You can also click the small a and the big A if you want to move the slider as well. Information, we've already seen that. We can discuss this feature and show the help cards. You can also resize the window. At the bottom right, you'll see a little corner, and by left-clicking and dragging that and holding your mouse down, you can resize this window. By the way, to open a document, you simply float your mouse over the title. You can see it's colored blue to let you know which one you've selected. And besides clicking to open a document, you can also left-click, hold the mouse button down, and drag the document wherever you want. And as you can see, we can move it to specific areas of the layout based on the shading that you see here. If you don't want to drag and drop it while holding the left mouse button down, just press the Escape button, and that will release the document as well. One other item to be aware of, besides clicking an X to remove a particular filter, if you click All, that will remove all the filters. One other thing that I've noticed in using this tool is sometimes there's a refresh issue. As you move between Yours, Groups, and Public, if Public is blank, then click Yours, wait for it to refresh. Once you see all your documents, then go back to Public. It's a quirky thing with Logos. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, this is how I work around that bug. Well, this concludes a brief overview of the Docs interface, and now we're going to take a look in the next video at these 3 groups, Yours, Groups, and Public.